Our third demo is on the ontology, or our conceptual model of the world. And it really is important to have a good understanding of why we use this ontology as opposed to just English words. In the paper we had this example with cranes and banks, and it was obvious that the word crane and the word bank had different meanings in different senses. So the main thing that our ontology does in this application is to differentiate things with different meanings, because obviously in different languages they'll be translated differently. So in this semantic representation, all these English-looking words here are actually links to concepts. So if we look at the say thing, you can see that it's linked to this concept that has a definition and has argument structures. It has some examples. You can actually go push the click the lexicon button and go and look in the ontology at all the different concepts that we have. And let's go down and look at say. There it is. You can see there's I think there's 4 different say concepts. There's one that we just used, the direct speech, like John said to Mary, quote, there's non-direct speech, he said many things. Indirect speech, he said that. And then you could have something like a law or some sort of edict or a paper or something says something. Now, these are all pretty much the same underlying meaning of say, but these have different expectations as far as their arguments. And that's one reason. That's another reason why we have different concepts, is to make it easier to differentiate uses that expect different arguments. Now, let's go to another example I saw up at the top here. I saw agree. This is a good one. There's 3 senses of agree. To agree with someone that something is true, and then to agree to do something, to agree that someone else should do something. Now, the first one is actually quite different in meaning than the second two. That's an example of a sense discrimination for the reason of actually different meanings. Then the second two are kind of similar in meaning, to agree to do something, but they expect different argument structures. So let's look down. If you can look at ask, again, you can look through those and see there's ask a question, to request something, to ask someone to do something. These are all separate meanings of ask. And again, there are some in here with sort of similar meanings, but they expect different argument structures. Separating out these argument structures makes it easier in translation. We have all of these concepts for be. Be is just a general connector word, but we have senses that are locative, existential, possessive, benefactive, etc. When we are in translation, a translation application, we're trying to translate a document, we specify all of at this kind of level what the actual concepts are. All right, so now we're looking at relations, or we sometimes call them adpositions, and you can see when we connect 2 nouns together, we specify if they're kinship, made of, body part, composed of. We have all of these types of specific relations that we use, and then there are other sort of more Englishly word things. We have a lot of these fors, again, temporal ones, beneficiary, etc. We have conjunctions that we use. These are an attempt to put some sort of discourse type of grammar into semantic representations. And again, in the course of you defining your language, you're going to have to go through and say how we implement all of these. Here's just the nouns, or more correctly, semantically speaking, they're objects. And you can go through the nouns and look at them. Again, you saw almond there. We have a sense for the tree and a sense for the fruit of the tree. Back is the back of a person, or the rear portion of something. And you can just go through and take a look at those. The next demo, we're going to take a look at the semantic features, which are an equally important part.